Gents, I just want to pause the episode for a moment to let you know about the Strong Men of Value Academy. You will have heard me refer to it a number of times, and I want to bring more attention to it. So this isn't just a program, it's a life-changing environment and community of men who are focused on personal and professional growth. We're looking at areas of relationships, wealth, and health, things to help you thrive and maximize your life. Imagine having bi-monthly one-on-one coaching sessions with myself, weekly group coaching calls, and an incredible brotherhood of high achievers by your side. Now we're diving into resilience, leadership, and holistic growth to not just succeed in your career, but to thrive in your health and your relationships. Your journey to greatness, it starts here. So join the movement and you can apply for the Strong Men of Value Academy. You can head to themanthatcanproject.com to find out more.
You're listening to The Man That Can Project with Lachlan Stuart, a global movement created to empower men and open up what's really going through their minds by having real and raw conversations about life's unique challenges and our individual ways of processing it all. Welcome to The Man That Can Project.
All right, gents. Happy Monday. I hope everyone has planned their week, is ready to rip in and create some improvements in all aspects of your life. I know I've got a really full-on week and I'm excited for it. A lot of progress happening, processes happening, and I've just joined a book club. So just finished some work with the lads from the Atlanta rugby team over in the States, and they have a book club, and I asked to be a part of it because I was also looking to join a book club, and I've made it in, I've made the cut, so pretty stoked for that. And before we dive in, guys, so for those who are wanting to take their lives to that next level, wanting to build more muscle, momentum, meaning, and mateship from your life, make sure you head over to themanthatcanproject.com, head over to that website, and you can find out, what's going to be a suitable program for you. Obviously, for the lads who live in Brisbane, I'm really encouraging and pushing you guys towards joining the Strong Men of Value program, because it's a week-by-week program. For those who aren't in Brisbane and have to fly in and around, definitely look at the Foundations Workshop, which is coming up in October. So look forward to getting to meet many more of you and help you have some huge breakthroughs moving forward. As for now, what I want to talk to you guys about is love. It's so weird, no. Guys, last week at the Men's Circle, I recommended a book, and it was a book that was a hot topic, because one of the biggest thing I've noticed a lot of men are struggling with coming out of COVID is, there's a lot of men who have lost relationships, whether that's going through a divorce or just splitting up with partners, right? Or they're struggling. There's really a lot of tension in that relationship. And a book I read 3 to 4 years ago, The 5 Love Languages, jumped out, and for me, I've literally started rereading it. I started rereading it on Thursday. I was on the bookshelf still, thankfully, and I decided to reread it because I couldn't speak off the top of my head really in depth about what they are and sort of give my own feedback on how it's played into my own life. So I want to reread it so I can refresh the topics, but I'm already a third of the way through, and I've recommended it to my partner that she reads it. And, obviously I'm talking about it now, but I've posted it on my social media because I think it's something that we need to work on, right? And one of the reasons why I believe, and I think I've definitely, for those who've listened to a lot of the episodes, I definitely speak about this a lot, is that like every other aspect of our life, we need to continue to grow. We need to continue to seek different ways to understand, and we need to challenge ourselves and also try new things. And relationships is no exception. Right? It's probably one of the most important parts because it involves someone else. And from my experience so far, we can't control other people. And, other people can't control us, really. Like, they can, but think about how much you hate it when people sit there trying to tell you what to do or trying to control you. It's not a fun experience. That's for darn sure. So when I think about this, and I was thinking about this over the weekend, one of the biggest challenges that men face throughout their life, and the statistics show, I've actually got the workbook here, so I'll be able to tell you specifically the details that came out from the Australian Men's Health Forum with the Men's Health Report Card last year was this. Let me find the suicide. So, preventing male suicide. So men are 3.5 times more likely to take their life, and when they're having relationship issues, and also 4 times more likely when it's linked to child custody issues. So, knowing that, I think it's a very important area to work on. I'm fortunate to be in a great relationship, and one where I'm definitely working on being the best partner I can be, but also showing up as my best self, and I know my partner is doing the same. But I also know things happen in life, and you need to be prepared for it. So while most people seek help when they are struggling or they need it, I sort of want to jump ahead and make sure I'm just putting in the work so I never get to that point. Because I've hit rock bottom in other aspects of my life. I don't want to do it in the relationship. I don't know whether you guys can relate, but if you can, now's the time to start putting that in. And I think, one of the things you gents may face is that your partner may not want or feel the need to do this, or if you don't have a partner yet, that's awesome because you can start doing the work on yourself, but it may be something in the future so that you can understand. And for me, going through this last night, I was reading it yesterday, I smashed a lot out in the morning, and then last night I was talking to Amy, and I was like, well, what do you think your love languages are? Because this is a funny conversation. And I told her what the 5 love languages were. So the 5 love languages are, and if you want to write these down, or otherwise you can just Google it later, is words of affirmation. The second one is acts of service. The third one is receiving gifts. The fourth one is quality time. And the fifth one is physical touch. Now, for me, personally, I love physical touch and I love words of affirmation. And it's funny because up until yesterday, when Amy and I were having this conversation, I just assumed, or actually I was aware of that this may be the case, but also after the conversation, it really was like, that's funny. I was always giving her physical touch and always telling her I loved her and words of affirmation, because that's how I feel loved, when that sort of stuff happens to me. But when we were chatting, it was a bit funny because for her, she believes that her love language is really acts of service and quality time. And two of those things, I'm granted, when I think of acts of service, I'm pretty fucking lazy. I'd much rather just pay someone to change the light bulbs and do all these sorts of things rather than doing it myself, because I'm so focused on other things. But now, and obviously that's an example of an act of service. There's so many. And same with quality of time. I often, when we book time, I'll run 5 minutes late or 3 minutes late. I'm not super late, but sometimes I'll let those couple of minutes, and she feels that. And it's crazy because I'm like, I'm here now. But it's funny how other people's love languages. So obviously sharing her with her mine, and then also getting her understanding of what hers are. It's going to be interesting to see how the next few weeks go, right? Whether there's improvements, and I'm excited to spend more quality of time and to do random acts of service and kind things, because it's something I know I should be doing, and now that I know it's really the way she receives love, it's something that I want to definitely do. So whether you are struggling in a relationship or you may not be in a relationship, I think it's something important to, and I guess to give you some context around this, obviously divorce rates are at an all-time high, and they say generally the first 2 years of a relationship is that honeymoon period, or that period where you're in love and you don't notice all the petty things that you generally start to notice over time. So it's important to really understand what their language is, and they throughout this book he says it's much like only being able to speak English and heading to any other foreign country, whether it's France, China, or anything like that, and not being able to speak the native tongue. Like, you can get across with a few hand signals and all that sort of stuff, but it doesn't really communicate or flow well. And that's the same with love languages, right? If you're constantly trying to communicate like I was from your love language, it doesn't always land, even though you're sitting there going, well, fuck, I always express love to you. I'm always touching you. I'm always giving you words of affirmation. That's like someone in French talking to me and telling me what to do, but I'm just going, well, yeah, they're talking, but I'm not really understanding it. So guys, it's something to think about and something I wanted to talk about just because it's something that, I'm working on at the moment and was definitely a hot topic at the men's circle the other night. And it's obviously a good topic to discuss in the Man That Can Project's Facebook group. So look forward to hearing your thoughts, guys, or, obviously definitely grab yourself a copy of that book, the 5 Love Languages, and start there. And obviously once you start diving into that, you'll be able to sort of work out the next areas that you want to learn and grow in from that point. So enjoy, gents. I'm hoping you will get a heap out of that like I do. And once again, like I said, if you're not in that Facebook group, dive into the Facebook group, and please, please, please share this with someone who you feel will need to hear it or get some value from it, or even just take the moment to write a review. It means a heap. And have a fucking awesome week, dudes, and we'll see you tomorrow. Thank you for listening to the Man That Can Project podcast. My name is Lachlan Stuart, and I hope you enjoyed this episode and found it helpful. If you did, please take a moment to rate and review the Man That Can Project on your favorite podcast platform. And don't forget to subscribe to stay up to date with our newest episodes. We'll see you again next time.